date is 13 September 2016. I'm departing Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport on Delta Airlines, and my first stop is John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City. Upon arrival at JFK, and after checking in, I proceeded to the Korean Air Lounge, who provided lounge services for Aeroflot passengers. These photos were taken from that lounge. I had a 3-hour and 52-minute layover at JFK, and I spent most of that time in the lounge. Now, boarding is about to commence, so I'm headed towards the gate. The departure time for my flight is 14:20, so I have plenty of time to get there. And here's a TSA checkpoint. And there's my gate. There appears to be quite a few people waiting to get on board, but I'm headed to the Sky Priority line. First I let the crippled people board, then the first class passengers, and then the Sky Priority members.
Thank you very much. I hope you find your seat. Thank you very much. 48 showcase. Welcome on the class by window seat.
This is Aeroflot Russian Airlines Flight 101 from JFK to Moscow, departing at 14:20. It's a Boeing 777-300ER. When you're in a queue boarding an airplane, often it will come to a stop and you won't move. This is the reason why. What in the hell is this woman doing? On this version of the 777, there are a few rows in the very back of the plane with just 2 seats side by side instead of 3. This is where I like to sit. Fortunately, there's nobody behind me, so I can take my time putting my bag up in the compartment and sitting down. If there was somebody behind me, I would throw it up there and then sit down quickly. Yes, indeed, it's a Boeing 777. And we're off. Moscow, here I come. I had a 2-hour and 50-minute layover in Moscow, and I spent that time in the lounge. Now, it's time to board, so I'm heading to the gate. On your first visit to this airport, you might find it a bit confusing, even though the signs are in Russian and English. It seems to be a bit of a maze to get from one place to another. This flight is boarded from the tarmac, so we have to take a bus out to it. Now it's on to Novosibirsk, the third largest city in Russia. And this is my hotel, the Resident Apart Hotel. Essentially, this is an apartment, but they run it like a hotel. Here are some views of the apartment, with a full kitchen and a bedroom, and some of the views from out the window. Marina is making borscht. I wanted to record it, but she's not quite ready. Borscht is a very popular soup in Eastern Europe and Russia. The name itself is Ukrainian, and one of the main ingredients is beetroot, which gives it its red color. This particular batch came out very well. This is the second time that Marina and I have met, but this is the first time she cooked for me. Check out this breakfast. She's a great cook. It's 16 September 2016, and now we're going out. After having breakfast, we're headed to Lenin Square. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, many of the Stalin monuments were removed. But that wasn't the case with Lenin monuments. Lenin is still revered, and many of his monuments remain. I believe Lenin came to realize that socialism was a fundamentally flawed system. The economy was in shambles, and Lenin, in response, came up with something called the New Economic Policy. It was essentially a mixed economy. It allowed for private ownership of small businesses, but the state still controlled foreign trade, banks, and large enterprises. The next day, 17 September 2016, Olga, a friend of Marina's, came to visit. Olga has a car, and we went out. One of the first places we went to was the Harley store, where I could buy a shirt. Next, we went on a river cruise, the three of us. This is the Ob River. It's a major river in western Siberia and the 7th longest river in the world. It has a length of 3,650 kilometers, or 2,268 miles. And it runs right through the middle of Novosibirsk. The cruise ended here. I'm not sure if these rides were closed permanently or just temporarily. We came to these trails, which are located at the Federal Siberian Biomedical Research Center. We walked around through these trails a bit and took some photos. This is the West Siberian Railway History Museum. Here you will find classic trains, classic cars, and classic military vehicles. Many of the locomotives have signs such as this one. The sign says that this has 1,900 horsepower. You can climb up and get inside some of the locomotives, as you see Marina here. And here is a view from inside the locomotive. It would appear that this is used to clear snow from tracks. And here are the automobiles. It looks like the Russian version of the Jeep. I've been to 2 other classic car museums in Russia, 2 of them in Moscow. This is the 3rd one, and these cars are here at the Railway Museum. This is something you would probably never see in the United States. Kids climbing up on the exhibits. Let them have fun. After all, they're kids. You only go through childhood once. Now here's one of the cars that you can go inside. And this shows some of the cramped living conditions that you would have to endure on a long trip. Small bunks, and this looks like some kind of prisoner transport. It doesn't look too comfortable. September 2016, Marina and I went to this small store, not far from our apartment. I wanted some sparkling water. Not a very good selection. Yeah. I always like to check out the beer too. And here's some that I haven't had before and have to try it. Yeah. Kosichka. Unfortunately, they don't have a good selection of Kosichka cheese here. In Russian stores, they always ask you if you want a packet, which is a bag. If you do, you get charged for it. And here we are back at our apartment. We went back to the hotel, and the next day we went for a little walk and decided to shoot some video. This is Novosibirsk, and this is Krasny Prospect. Krasny Prospect is the main street that runs through the center of Novosibirsk. Down in that direction, you'll find a lot more shops, restaurants. You have Lenin Square down there. Down this way, I don't know. I haven't been down there. This cat, I don't know who this cat is. But I guess he's somebody important. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a statue. So let me ask Marina. Kto это? Kto это? Krulov? Ah. And this is Krulov Ulica. Krulov. So, что Krulov делал?
Крулов писатель.
Писатель. Okay. So, there you have it. This cat is Krulov. That's Krulov Ulica. And this is Krasny Prospect.
Есть такие басни.
Close.
Басни Крылова.
Basni Krylova. And this is the center of Novosibirsk, or very close to the center. We need to go down that way to Lenin Square. Lenin Square is what they consider the actual center of the city. We walked to the Novosibirsk railway station. Glavny. Is is the train station in Novosibirsk, the largest train station in Russia. Can you hear me? There's probably a lot of noise around here, but let me get closer. So this train station is on the Trans-Siberian Rail line. It goes from Moscow to Vladivostok or Moscow to Beijing. And it stops here. Novosibirsk, I read, owes its existence to the rail line that goes through here. Without this rail line, Novosibirsk wouldn't be what it is today. And like any train station, you have a bunch of stuff that pops up around it. Shops, kiosks, food, all kinds of stuff. Marina. Пожалуйста. Скажи что-нибудь о вокзале.
Маленький вокзал.
Маленький. Это большой вокзал, да?
Ну, Новокузнецк, Новосибирск. Новокузнецк маленький, Новосибирск побольше.
Alright, so let's go in and have a look and see inside. Largest train station in Russia, Novosibirsk. There's the schedule board, or whatever you call it. And you might need a ticket to get in that area, I don't know. We'll see. The chandeliers. It doesn't seem to be a very impressive station to me, but they say it's the largest one in Russia. It looks like a normal train station to me. It's nice in here. Here we are on the platform. And I guess this is where the Trans-Siberian Express goes. Maybe along these tracks, maybe through here, I don't know. There wasn't much security getting through here. Here we are in Novosibirsk, the largest train station in Russia, supposedly, with a stop along the Trans-Siberian Railway.
I read somewhere that this railway station was the largest in Russia, but I think I was wrong. I read elsewhere that it was one of the largest. After visiting the train station, we had sushi at a nearby restaurant. Now we're going out to dinner. We walked past this restaurant several times, and each time it intrigued me. So we decided to go. Turns out it's an Uzbek restaurant.
This is Marina, and we are in a restaurant called Tandir. Tandir is an Uzbeki restaurant. And I just had the best shawarma that I think that I've ever had. Then we had a bottle of wine, and we're a little bit buzzed. Cheers. But this place is on Krylova Ulitsa. So if you're in Novosibirsk and you're on Krylova Ulitsa, check out this place called Tandir. An Uzbeki restaurant. It's got some decent food. But listen to this music. This is not traditional Uzbeki music. So, it would be much better if they had traditional Uzbeki music. Marina says goodbye. Opening the champagne.
Не надо.
What kind of champagne is Borscht anniversary?
Полусладкое.
You know, what kind? Where's this from? Looks like Italy. Italian, I'm guessing. Maybe Spain, I don't know. What difference does it make? Champagne is champagne, right? I guess it makes a difference if you're a connoisseur, but I'm not a connoisseur. So, cheap champagne. It's not even a real cork, it's a plastic cork. Should have got something else. Well, probably won't even pop. My mistake. It popped. Bam! Oh, that was fun. And formaggio.
Here's Marina modeling my Harley shirt. And the next day we went out for a walk looking for a pizza place and ended up near the Central Market.
I'm on Guevara, let's say, here in Novosibirsk. This is one of the busier streets. And on a busy street like this, you see a lot of shops, a lot of kiosks and things like that. A lot of people, a lot of traffic, a lot of noise. Over there, the Central Market. And it's one of the attractions of Novosibirsk, at least if you look up things to do in Novosibirsk, the Central Market's going to be listed. I don't know what's over there. I haven't checked it out yet. Maybe we'll check it out later. We're going to go get some pizza, Marina and I. Do you have anything to say?
We found the pizza place, but it wasn't what we expected, so we walked a little bit further until we found this Czech brew pub called Bakalar. It was pretty good. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to Marina. The next day, 22 September 2016, I decided to go for a walk. I thought I would go down to Novosibirsk Central Market and check it out. There really is a lot to see in the Novosibirsk Central Market. This market is quite big. I walked around a bit and I probably didn't even see half of it. Maybe I saw about a quarter of it. One thing you might notice about this is how tightly packed together the items are. In any given area, the number of items seems to be quite a bit higher than you would see in a typical store in the United States. This is a typical Russian flea market. You can find just about anything here. Need a shower head? Need some plumbing supplies? You can find it here. You can also find some quality cookware in places like these. Anyway, I go out the back into another area where there are a bunch of more shops. Military surplus store. I have to check this out. Again, even in this store, it's small and all the merchandise is packed in there tightly, like sardines.
Speak English?
In places like these and around busy metro station entrances, you'll find fast food. And in this case, it's shashlik and shawarma. There are a lot of these types of restaurants and kiosks in Russia, Ukraine, even Kazakhstan. I didn't need it this one. I go outside and walk down a little bit further, and soon I'll come up on another place that sells shawarma.
Kuritsa? Alright.
Kuritsa is chicken, and it's the most common meat that you'll find in a shawarma on these types of places. It's rare if you find one that has beef. Here they sell them in two sizes, standard and bolshaya. Standard is standard and bolshaya is large. I got bolshaya. I sat down on a bench and ate the shawarma, and then I walked around some more and came upon a place called Austria Grill Bar. So I went in to have a beer.
My name is Nena.
Nena. And как зовут это место?
Это Grill Bar Austria.
Grill Bar Austria. And you can see they have a selection of beers. Different beers that a lot of other places don't have. Most time you go into a place and you get Baltica and Russian beer, but they have German beer, Austrian beer, Czech beer, Hungarian beer, and I have Siberian beer, local beer, and it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's 24 September 2016, and my time in Novosibirsk has come to an end. I'm now headed to the airport.
Can I take these? Okay. Problem?
Russian airports have security at the entrance, where you have to have your bag scanned before you bring them into the airport. Here she wanted me to scan my bags again. After scanning my bags again, I then proceed to the check-in counter. There was a delay at the check-in counter due to some sort of problem, but I'm not sure what it was. They issued me my boarding pass, and now I'm walking towards Russia's version of the TSA. Finally, I reached the security checkpoint. She doesn't look too happy. Made it through no problems, and now it's time to gather my shit and go. Now I'm headed to the VIP lounge to wait for my flight. doesn't appear to be the most luxurious lounge that I've ever seen, but there's free beer and free food, so it's good enough. It'll pass the time until it's time to go. And it's time to go, so I'm headed to the gate to board the plane. And it looks like I finally reached the gate. It's Saturday, 24 September 2016, and I'm boarding Aeroflot Russian Airlines Flight 1549 from Novosibirsk to Moscow. The flight leaves at 6:50. The plane is an Airbus A320.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Aeroflot Russian Airlines, a member of the International Sky Team Alliance. Safety regulations require that hand luggage be stowed in overhead bins.
Aeroflot usually has some good-looking stewardesses, but not always. I'm airborne, and they are now serving breakfast. That's an omelet. I'm adventurous, so I'll give it a try. I've had better omelets. The flight to Moscow was uneventful. I have a 2-hour and 40-minute layover, and I will spend a portion of that time in the lounge. Going up some stairs. Now going down some stairs. Going down some more stairs. I had to pick up my bag here in Moscow and then recheck it. Passageways, corridors, stairs, turns, up and down, left and right. Eventually, you get to where you're going, but it's not a direct path. It's 24 September 2016. Flight leaves at 9:40. It's Aeroflot Russian Airlines Flight 100, a Boeing 777-300ER. From Moscow to New York City, JFK. The landing is scheduled for 12:25, and then I have to change airports. I have 2 hours and 34 minutes to get to LaGuardia. Down those stairs is the passport control area. There are a lot of people waiting in line to go through passport control. There's no way I'd make it to LaGuardia in time. But I don't have to wait, because those machines on the right are global entry machines, and I have global entry, so I can get through there in a few minutes. Now that I got my global entry pass, I can bypass the long lines and go straight to customs. But I'm still going to have to wait on my bag, because I have to take it to LaGuardia and check in there. I got my bag fairly quickly, and made it to LaGuardia, and I even had a little bit of time to spend in the lounge. Here I am leaving the lounge, and I'm headed to the gate to catch my flight to Atlanta. And here's the gate. I'll head straight to the Sky Priority line. And the Sky Priority line is empty. Great. The flight to Atlanta is Delta Airlines 852. It's a McDonnell Douglas MD-90. It leaves LaGuardia at 14:59. There are a line of people behind me, so I'm going to do my best to get my bag up in the bin and sit down as soon as possible in order to not hold up the line. But unfortunately, I have to wait for these people to get out of their seats so I can get into mine. I should have gotten on a little bit earlier. The flight to Atlanta is 2 hours 43 minutes, 760 miles from LaGuardia. The scheduled arrival time in Atlanta was 17:42. I'm not sure exactly what time I arrived, but I'm finally home. Or at least I'm in my home airport, and now it's just a matter of getting back to my house.